regulations of the sale a little bit before we conduct it so that everybody's on the same page about what's happening here today. In order to bid today, you have to have a valid photo ID. You have to be registered with that ID prior to the sale. You can't just hold your hand up. You have to have one of those bidder cards. When you bid today, you're accepting the rules of the sale. They're printed in the book. We hid them on the page that says rules and regulations. When you bid today, you're agreeing to those in their entirety. Take a look at them before you bid. Make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. We're going to go through most of those now so that everybody is aware of them. One of the questions we frequently get from people is, can the former owner just come in and pay the taxes and get the property back? No, they can't. That law changed in the state of Michigan back around 2000. So for all of this century, the law has been what it is now, which is that there's been a due process, notice process, and service that has been completed, and the foreclosure is final. As of April the 1st of 2019, anybody that had an interest in these properties lost that interest. The county is the owner of the land. It's been contested in court over and over and over, and the law stands. Anybody that held a deed or a land contract interest in these properties, those interests have been extinguished. Mortgages, security agreements, construction liens, tax liens, utility bills, leases, recorded interest, unrecorded interest, condo and property owner association fees, liens against the property, liens against the owner, they're all gone as of April the 1st, 2019. Some things are not canceled by a tax foreclosure, and here is that list. This is most of them. There could be some other weird little thing I'm not thinking about, but for the most part, this is it. If there are easements to or across the property, they're still in place. If the mineral rights have been retained by a former owner, or if they have been sold to a third party in the past, they're still split. If the last owner of these properties held the mineral rights, you get them today. If they didn't, you don't. It's that simple. If it is in a condominium, a homeowners or property owners association, you are still subject to their rules and regulations and their fees. It is still subject to zoning, local ordinance, building codes, and point of sale requirements from the local health department if there are any. Everything we sell today, if it is tillable land, if it's got a crop on it, the crops belong to whoever planted them. We've had this argument in court before. It's not really defined in the law, so we have made it a rule of the sale. If you buy something today and it has a crop on it that was planted this year with the intention of harvest this year, that crop belongs to the person that planted it. We are reserving the right of entry onto the lands for somebody to come and get those crops if they were planted this year. That is going to be something that is part of our agreement today. Everything sold today is being sold as is, where is, with all of its faults and defects, whether they're visible, known, or not. You can't tell everything about a piece of property just by looking at a picture, and here is a perfect example. I personally see all of the property in about 30 counties in Michigan every year. Here's what I took that picture back about May. That's in a little place called Sagola. It's in Dickinson County, a few miles north of Iron Mountain in the Upper Peninsula. Usually when I get out here in the sticks and I'm looking at an old cabin like that, they're pretty easy to get into because somebody's already opened up the back door for me. This was not that situation. I went around this thing 2 or 3 times trying to get inside. Locked up tight, couldn't get in there hardly at all. Took me a little effort to get the back door open. I even tried peeking in the windows. It was like looking at a mirror. Couldn't see a darn thing through those windows till I got inside. Those aren't ferns. Remember what we said about crops. They haven't been back yet. We're kind of waiting for them. Everything being sold today is sold by quitclaim deed. It's sold as is, where is, with all of its faults and defects, whether known or unknown, visible or invisible. No guarantees, no warranties, no representations made of any kind, except that you are buying the legal description of land listed in the book you've got in your hands. We cannot guarantee photos or property lines or addresses or anything of the nature. We're not surveyors. We're selling you the legal description as it's listed in the book that you've got. There are 2 words there that say legal description. You're buying what's after that. It's either a measured description, it's a subdivision name and a lot number, it's a condominium name and a unit number. That's what you're buying today. These properties can have a lot of problems. That's why some of them are here. Some of them are obvious, some of them are not. Lead-based paint, asbestos, bad foundations, septic systems that don't work, wells that have gone dry, leaking roofs, frozen plumbing, foundations that are failing, encroachments and property line issues, underground storage tank contamination. All of those things are included today at no extra charge. All sales are final. Please know what you're bidding on. I see at every sale somebody looking through that book that didn't get what they came for, so they're looking for something else to buy, and they haven't even laid eyes on it. Just please don't do that. Know what you're bidding on. Have done your research in advance of the sale. There are no refunds once you buy it. It's yours. When we sell, here is how this all happens today. Everybody's got a copy of that book. After you registered, you went by another clerk and told them what you were here to bid on. Out of everything in that book, we probably have 4 or 5 pieces that half of this room's chasing. Those pieces are going to get sold first. That's why they asked you what you were here to bid on. We're going to sell the most popular pieces first. Then we're going to go back to the beginning of the book, sell what's there in order, skipping the pieces you didn't come to buy today. There will be pieces in that book that nobody in this room is interested in. I may have bids on some of them online, but if there's nobody in the room that wants them, we're going to skip them so that you're not here any longer than you need to be. So that's how it's done. The most popular pieces, then in order that they're in the book, skipping the ones that nobody here wants. Before we skip a piece, we'll ask to make sure, but if you don't want it, we're not going to try selling it to you. When we open up the bidding, here's the mechanics of how this will work today. In your book, you're going to see a number that says minimum bid. That's what that piece of property owes the county. Our goal today in each of these 3 counties is to sell some of this property for enough money to pay the total of all of those minimum bids in each county. The bidding starts at either that minimum bid number or a higher bid if I have one online. I've got some, I think the number is 87 bids I already have from online bidders before 11 o'clock online in advance of the sale today. If I've got a higher online bid on a property already, we start at that higher number. We start at either the minimum bid in the book or a higher online bid if I have one. The bidding then increases by the amount you see on the screen. Until a property gets to $1,000, it goes up at least $50 at a time in round numbers. $250, $300, $350, $400. No dollar bids, no splitting things in half. They go by those increments you see on the screen. Once we hit $10,000, they go up at least $250 at a time. The people online have the option, so do you, so do I, of doing something called jumping the bid. That's what our minimum bid increases are. Sometimes we go faster. We had a property we sold earlier this year that the bid increases were going up by $50,000 at a crack. If we've got a bunch of people interested in a property, we're going to go faster than those minimum bid increments. That's kind of the creeper gear when we get right down to brass tacks toward the end and we're getting to our final sale price. We have several ways to bid today. We have you guys here in the audience with your yellow bid cards. We have people walking in the door right now with blue ones. If they got a blue bid card, it means they got here late. They might have missed something very important that I'm going to tell you in a couple of minutes about whether or not you're eligible to bid today. Not everybody that walks in that door that's got money can buy. There are laws about how this process is conducted. But we have people bidding here in the room with bid cards. We have people that have bid online in advance of the sale. I think the number is 87 bids. I'll have a sheet in front of me in a minute that has all of those bids on it. We also, right next to the projector in the front of the room on a tripod, have our camera with a little microphone built in. People can bid against you live online as well. I do want to remind the online live bidders watching that feed, don't use the audio video feed for your reference about what's happening in the room. There's always a delay on your end, on our end, and in between. Use the text feed on your screen. It'll tell you what's happening here in real time. If you win today, you have to pay today. You have to pay in full today. There's no closing date. There's no 10 days to go get your money or get something arranged. You should have come prepared to pay today. When we sell the final piece of property today, we're going to check everybody out that's standing in line. We're going to look up and down, check the parking lot, see if anybody's wheeling in there at 80 miles an hour. If you're not in line, when we've cleared the last purchaser out there, the tops go on the boxes and we're going home. So if you can't pay within a reasonable amount of time today, you should be prepared to pay by 2 or maybe 2:30 at the latest. That's about how long the sale's going to take. If you can't pay by about that time, you shouldn't be bidding today. If you're bidding online, you'll get an email tonight, sometime around midnight, with your instructions about how to get the money to the office and finish your purchase process as an online bidder. The first $1,000 you give us today, if you read the rules, if you're up to speed on what's going on, you know that the first $1,000 you give us today should be in the form of certified funds. It's a check drawn on a bank or a credit union. A cashier's check is the common name for them. It's your non-refundable deposit. Over and above that first $1,000, we will take your personal or business checks, money orders, cashier's checks, or your Visa, MasterCard, or Discover card. Those are the only 3 credit cards we take: Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. We do not accept cash. We haven't in years. We've had some trouble with cash, including some people that brought a great big bag of it to one of our sales to pay us. They had printed it at home. Great color printers now. What are you going to pay if you win? Here's how the math works. We're going to arrive at a final bid price here in the room. 3 things are added to the final bid price. There's a 10% buyer premium charge. That's the cost of today's sale. $30 is what it costs to record a deed in the state of Michigan. Your deed's going to be recorded with the Register of Deeds office before it's sent back to you. That's a process that's going to take about 6 weeks. Gives us time to get all the checks cleared, get the deeds signed, get them recorded, and mailed back to you. Also, the Michigan legislature says that before you can buy this property today, before you get your deed, the summer tax bill for 2019 has to be paid. The summer tax amount due for each parcel is listed in the sale book that you've got. That's collected today and paid for you prior to that deed being sent to you. So what you're going to pay today is the final price arrived at here during bidding. Add 10%, add $30, and add the summer tax. If you're using a credit card, 2.75% is the fee that is added to your credit card amount as the processing fee. That's exactly what they charge us. If you need to leave the building, you bought something, you want to run down, get that cashier's check, get it all lined up, let the clerks where you checked in know what your bidder number is, give them your cell phone number, let them know how long it's going to take for you to come back. Many of you have already given us on the website the information that we need to collect from you about the names to put on the deed. We don't just make them up. You tell us what names go on the deed to the property that you buy. If you haven't done it online, there's a form in your book. It says deed information. A couple of things are important on this form. First of all, when you fill it out, don't use your nickname. If everybody calls you Junior or Bubba or Slim or Lefty or Shorty, don't put it on that form. Use your full legal name, the way it appears on your driver's license, other important documents that you've got. If you're going to list somebody else on this form as a co-owner, it's a relative, a business partner, or a friend, don't list their name on that form unless you have the opportunity to reach them before you check out or you're very familiar with their finances. I'll tell you about that reason in a minute. You should know whose name you're putting on that form and whether or not they are eligible to buy today. If you are buying today with somebody else and you're not married to them, the law requires us to list the form of tenancy. It's the manner in which real estate is owned. That information is on the page behind the deed information page. Those are your options. Essentially, the discussion here is if one of multiple owners dies, what happens to their ownership of the land? Does it go to their heirs? Does it go to the surviving other owners? You have to pick one of those options if you're listing more than one name on the form today. When you leave, you'll not be leaving today with a copy of the deed. It hasn't even been recorded yet or even created. We don't even know what names are going on until you check out. So what you're going to leave here with today is a receipt. It's our agreement in writing. It's your contract of purchase of the land. It's your evidence until you have the deed that you're the buyer of the land. They're going to print out a copy of this document when you check out. They're going to give it to you to look at. They're going to ask you to sign it. Here's what's on it. Here's the procedure. Here's what's involved. First of all, I want you to check it very carefully. The spelling of your name. Is it your full legal name? Are all of the parties you want listed on the deed listed on that form? Is the 4-digit number in the left-hand column of the sale book matching what's on the form? If it doesn't, you're getting a deed to the wrong property. Is the math correct? Is your address correct? Check everything on that form. make sure it's right. If it's wrong on that form, it's going to be wrong on your deed. Let's do it right the first time that we're here. When you sign this document, you're agreeing to the terms of the sale, the rules and regulations in the book, the things we're talking about now. You're agreeing that you're buying the property as is. There are no guarantees, no warranties. You know what you're buying. You've had the opportunity to do your own research, and you are accepting it in as-is condition. Here's an important one. You're buying property today, but you're not the owner by law until the deed is in your mailbox. That's probably going to take 6 weeks. We're selling vacant land today. We're selling buildings that are not occupied. We know how this works. We've been doing this a long time. We should tell you that you don't have possession of the property until you have the deed. That can be 6 weeks. We could tell you that. We could make you agree to it in writing, and you'll be in there by 4 o'clock today anyway. So, this is what's in the agreement that you're signing today. We are offering you, you don't have to take it if you don't want to, you have the option of taking possession today. Most of you are going to do that anyway. You want to get in there, you want to look around. We're allowing you to do that for 3 specific purposes: inspection, security, and maintenance. You do not have authorization to begin remodeling. You don't have permission to move in. You don't have permission to make any major changes. So please don't do those things. What you're allowed to do if it's a vacant, unoccupied building is change the locks. Go in and look around, measure things. If you want to do a little bit of cleaning up, you're being allowed to do that. In exchange, you are indemnifying the seller for any liability for injury, loss, or damage. You walk in and fall through the floor. You leave something there, somebody breaks in and takes it. You're assuming liability for those items in exchange for getting early possession prior to becoming the owner. The law is very clear that the state of Michigan is the owner of these lands until, acting as the foreclosing governmental unit, all 3 of these counties today are managed by the state still. You're agreeing that the state is the owner of these properties until you get the deed. The state, by law, has the right to cancel this sale if it's determined necessary. We sell for almost 70 counties in the state of Michigan. About once every 2nd or 3rd year, we have to cancel one sale because right afterward we discovered that the property should not have been sold for some legal reason. If that's determined, what you get back is what you paid today and only what you paid today. If you buy something today, you can let yourself in, you can change the locks, look around, take measurements, take pictures, check out the plumbing, start doing those sorts of things. Don't spend a bunch of money until you have the deed. If the sale gets canceled and you disregard what I'm telling you and you put a new roof on it before you got the deed, you bought somebody else a roof. You're not getting a refund for that. I told you earlier not to list somebody else on that deed form if you don't know their business and you can't get them on the phone, and here's why. The final part of your checkout process today, also required by law, is that you have to make what's called a sworn statement. You're going to be making a representation under oath in front of a notary public that says you have no other property in any of these 3 counties with any other delinquent taxes. You don't hold the deed to anything. You're not a land contract seller of anything, a partial owner, owning something with siblings, anything of that nature. If you hold it in a DBA, if it has any delinquent taxes and it's in these 3 counties, I can't sell to you today, and it's against the law for you to try buying. You cannot be the bidder. You cannot be listed on the deed. You can't write the check to pay for it. You can't have anything to do with this sale today if you have any other property in these 3 counties with delinquent taxes from winter 2018 or before. This includes property that you co-own with other people. If you own something with your siblings, if you're a seller on a land contract, even if it's not your obligation to pay the taxes, if you're in that chain of title, I can't sell to you today. If you bid and buy anyway, your sale will be canceled once we discover the deficiency, and you've broken the law. It's in the provision in the law that as you're checking out, you're going to be making what's called a sworn statement that you don't have any delinquent taxes in front of a notary public. If you misrepresent that, you have you violated a law that's known as perjury. Perjury in Michigan is a felony. So if you misrepresent your delinquent tax status, even if you forgot, even if you weren't aware, you should be. And if you list somebody else on that form, you should be aware of their position as well, because you're making a representation for everybody that's listed. So again, when you check out, they're going to ask you if you have any delinquent taxes in these 3 counties. If you say you don't and you do, you have broken the law, and it potentially is a felony, and your sale will be canceled. They're very serious about it. If you have other delinquent taxes, don't buy today. This is not the place for you to be buying property. The last page on your sale book looks like this. It's the Michigan Property Transfer Affidavit. If you buy something today, you need to fill this out and send it in within 45 days. This is a form that goes to the assessor's office in the city, village, or township where the property is located. You're telling them your name and address so that you get your tax bills on time from now on. Otherwise, we'll be selling your stuff here in 2 years. There's a bunch of information at the top. The parcel identification number is listed in your sale book. You can fill that in. You're buying it today from the Michigan Department of Treasury. That's the seller name if you buy something today. You're going to send it to the assessor's office in the city, village, or township where the property is located within 45 days. Bunch of check boxes on the bottom half of that form. None of them apply. A couple of them say something about a redemption from a tax sale. You're not redeeming today, you're buying at a tax sale. Don't check any of those. Fill out the top half, sign it at the bottom. It goes to the assessor in the city, village, or township where the property is located. Title insurance. Do you need title insurance to buy or sell property in Michigan? The answer to that is no. It's an option. Generally speaking, if you can get title insurance, you don't need it. They collect an insurance premium for insuring pretty much a non-existent risk, is what title insurance is. They're not going to give it to you if they can find anything wrong with that title. Title insurance, however, is going to be necessary if you're going to use the property in the future as collateral, or if you're going to sell it to somebody that's going to be borrowing money from a lender to pay you off. If you need title insurance, you can go to your local people. Sometimes they'll write it freely. Sometimes they will come back with a requirement that they want you to go get a quiet title action. They want you to hire an attorney and take the last owner to court and get the judge to say title's clear. Guess what? It's already been done. The county took care of this. The state of Michigan took care of this process already. They also sometimes will ask you to get quitclaim deeds from all the former owners. You don't have to do those things. If you run into a title insurance agent that requires you to, there are a few on that screen there that won't. First American Title in Detroit has an office that specializes in tax foreclosures. The tax foreclosure title insurance, First American Title in Detroit has an office that specializes in just this kind of property. Sun Title at the bottom of that screen is in Grand Rapids, Suntitle.com. They also are very active in this, as is the top one on that screen, the S&P Title Insurance Agency. They're located up near Indian River in the middle of the state, SNPtitle.com. Those 3 companies, highly recommended, efficient. They have direct access to the online foreclosure database. They can do this. They do it all the time. They're efficient and reasonably priced. We gave you a date earlier that everybody had as a deadline to pay their taxes. It's a very important date to you for this reason. April the 2nd is the day that the State of Michigan Department of Treasury became the foreclosing governmental unit and the owner of this property. It is the effective date of your purchase. It's the cutoff date for all prior interests. A couple of points here. If you hear from somebody after today's sale, they claim they have an interest in the property, that they bought it from somebody in February, that they bought it from somebody after April, that they have a lien against it for doing some work and they were never paid. The first thing you need to ask them is when. If they cite a date that's before that date, their interest is gone and the court says so. There's a circuit court order on file to that effect. If they state that they have some kind of an interest in it after that date, they don't, because nobody that owned the property gave it to them. You assume liability for anything that accrued against this property after April the 2nd. Everything that we are aware of is included in today's minimum bid. You're paying the summer tax. If the lawns have been mowed and they sent a bill for that by the local city or village, that's already included in the minimum bid. If they're out there mowing today, that's your bill. Everything that we're aware of is already in today's minimum bid. It's going to be very few things that might pop up. Condominium fees. If you buy a condominium, if it's in a property owner or homeowners association, you assume liability for their membership fees after that date only. If they approach you about old fees from the last owner, they're not your responsibility. They're included in the cutoff date of April the 1st. All the old association fees and such are wiped away. You inherit from April 1st on. Once in a while, if you're on municipal sewer or water, even if it's turned off, they sometimes will bill quarterly or something to that effect for the beam connection fee. That's what they use to retire their bond debt. So if you do run into something like that, it's probably going to be very small. You're liable for April 2nd to date only. Everything before that is already gone. While we're on the topic of municipal utilities, here's a scenario that happens every once in a while. It's still going on, even though this law has been in effect for a long time. If you buy something and it's connected to municipal water or sewer, it's got a fire hydrant out front, it's got a water meter in the basement, you call down there to get the water turned on, and they tell you that not only did the last guy not pay his taxes, he also didn't pay his water bills. They've got a $900 water bill on their books that they refuse to turn the service on unless you pay that guy's bill. The Michigan Attorney General's office has written an opinion. Those 4 numbers on the top of the screen, 7258, are that opinion number. If you're buying something today and it's got municipal water or sewer service, please write those numbers down because you might be looking for them after you call to get the water turned on. The Attorney General's opinion says 2 things. First of all, it says that bill is not yours. Municipal utility charges are treated just like every other lien, and they die on that date. Any utility service connection fees prior to that date are gone. That Attorney General opinion also says that they cannot refuse to turn the service on because you won't pay. Their recourse is against the former owner or former occupant of the property. They can take them to small claims court. It is not a lien against this property anymore because it's been extinguished by tax foreclosure, and they have no right to deny you that service. So if you're buying something today and it's on municipal utility service, Michigan Attorney General opinion 7258 says those 2 things. You'll want to write that down so you're not calling us at the office trying to figure it out later on. We talked about possession. You get possession today as long as it's vacant land or unoccupied structures. What do you do if there's somebody there? We are selling a few properties today that are occupied. If there is an occupant in a building, even if they showed up yesterday, there's no such thing in Michigan as a squatter. They're called occupants, and the proper legal procedure is eviction through the district court. You can also make contact with them and negotiate possession. Sometimes people will offer a little bit of money to an occupant to move on down the road. You'll get the place back quicker and generally in better condition if you do that. Some people call it cash for keys. If a property is occupied, it's not always advisable to just go marching up to the front door. You don't know what frame of mind somebody's in. So we recommend that you make first contact by telephone, by mail, or through an intermediary. You'll often have very good luck contacting a neighbor. Every piece of property that we're selling today that's occupied has somebody living real nearby who's got their nose up everybody's skirt in the neighborhood. Every neighborhood's got one. Find that person. They'll tell you who's living there, whether it's the owner, whether it's a renter, whether it's a friend of the former owner. They'll probably be able to tell you what the situation is. There's going to be somebody in that neighborhood that can probably keep you out of harm's way and let you know before you get to that house if they are able to be rationally dealt with, whether they're a hothead, whether they're armed, whether they're stable. Please be cautious when approaching occupied properties. We've never heard of anybody being injured. We don't want you to be the first. Every neighborhood does have somebody in it who makes it their business to know everybody else's business. And if you don't think there's one of those where you live, I'll bet it's you. What I'm selling you today, I'm selling you a piece of land. You're buying it's warm in here, isn't it? You're buying a piece of land, and whatever is physically attached to it, you're buying buildings, septic systems, TV antennas, the furnace. I cannot sell to you or give to you anything that is in or on the property that can be moved. Anything that can be picked up, carried away, rolled away, removed without the use of tools, anything like automobiles and campers and RVs and appliances and clothing and furniture, if it's in the property and it's of value, we can't give it to you because we don't own it. We didn't foreclose on it. If you find something of value at a property, don't just get rid of it without making an effort to find out who it belonged to. Give them an opportunity to come and get it. There's no rule about how you do it or how long you have to give them. You just want to seem like you have been fair and rational in dealing with it. Take photos of anything that you get rid of before you do, so you can prove what it was or wasn't. You'll be amazed how people's embellishments of memories of what something is and its condition and value changes without any kind of documentation. But anyway, you're not buying anything today that is not part of the land. We cannot and do not warrant title to mobile, modular, or manufactured housing units. If it's ever had a separate title, if it's ever had wheels underneath it, it may be subject to review by a court, and they may let somebody remove it. We have seen modular homes on concrete block foundations removed with an order of the court. If you hear from somebody after the sale, if you're buying something like that raised redneck ranch right there, if you're buying something like that and somebody approaches you afterward and says they're going to take it, make them show you an order of the court that gives them that permission. You don't have to just let them haul something off the property. Make them prove they have the right. Make them take you to court. But we cannot warrant titles to those, because if the title is held by a third party, we have no way to know that. We're almost ready to get started. When we sell, it's just like riding a teeter-totter. We're going to open up the bidding with either the minimum bid listed in that book or a higher number if I've already got a bid online. 92 is the number of online bids I've already got. Yes?
One question. If there is a mortgage on the property,
The mortgages are gone. They would have been sent notice and their mortgage is toast. Once we open up the bidding, we're opening up at either the minimum bid listed in the book or a higher bid if I've got one online. Then I'm going to find 2 bidders at a time in the room. We're going to go back and forth just like riding that teeter-totter till somebody slows down or says I'm done. Then I'll look for another one. Once I'm down to 1 bidder in the room, then I come over here to Carrie and see if anybody bidding online wants to keep on going. So that's how that works. Couple of tips if you're brand new at this, most of you are. First of all, when you're done today, don't leave that card on your chair. Somebody can pick it up and have a great time this afternoon, and you'll be getting a spooky phone call later on. If you've got a cell phone with you today, or a baby, or you brought grandma because she's the one with all the money and you have to shout at her because she doesn't hear well. If your husband has just exceeded the authorization you gave him last night, you told him he could go up to 5,000 and he's just giddily gone past 30, and you need to correct him, please take it out into the parking lot. We will have the EMS standing by. If you make a mistake, please don't wait till the auction's over to fess up. If you bid on the wrong piece, if you misunderstood the sale amount, get your hand in the air immediately. I can still sell that property before the other bidder hits that door. If you wait too long, we're going to expect you to pay for it. Please be considerate of us. We will be considerate of you. There may be people here that are former owners of property or here trying to assist a former owner getting something back. Please try to maintain your emotion. We are here today because there's a court order that says this property is titled in the state, and there's a Michigan state law that gives us a window of time in which we have to sell it. We're here because the law says we have to conduct this sale today. So please be considerate of us, we'll be considerate of you. Finally, when we say a piece of property is sold, it is. It's your job today to make sure your bid is seen and heard. I am not an auctioneer. I do not do the yabba dabba do. I'm going to be pointing at the high bidder and I'm going to say going once, going twice, and sold. If you want to bid on a piece of property, don't wait till the last second to bid for the first time, because once we say it's sold, it is. We don't reopen the bidding because you think I missed you. I'm going to say going once. If you're interested in it, you should have that card in the air. Don't be tugging on your ear unless you're asking me out on a date. I'm free on Sunday. Don't be tugging in your ear, don't be winking at me, don't be doing this or that. Use that card, get it up in the air, make it obvious what you're doing. When I say going twice, we're getting real close to selling it, and once I say sold, it's gone. If you need to make some noise or shout at me, do it, but don't wait too long. I'm gonna be looking at the people that have bid on the property already. If you're waiting until the absolute last second, you're taking a big risk. If you're really nervous about it when we're selling the piece that you're interested in, come right down front and sit in one of these chairs. Make sure you don't get missed. Once we say it's sold, it is. Any other questions before we get going?
Unsold properties?
Unsold, we're gonna sell every piece today. There is not gonna be a whole lot left in this book. I've got bids already online on just about everything. If there is stuff left, it's gonna be online look there in the month of August, or in the month of October, and it gets sold in early November. It's kind of a sealed bid process. It isn't a back and forth thing. You put in your best price. There won't be much left, and what's there, generally speaking, isn't worth buying. Everything worth buying is gonna sell today. Anybody else got any other questions? Let's get this started. Once we've sold a couple, it'll be pretty obvious how this works. We're gonna go through the book one time. I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna sell first, the most popular pieces, and here they are. In Clinton County, I'll give you these numbers twice. In Clinton County, number 2001 on Hannah Avenue. Then we're gonna go down to 2003 on Herbison Road. Then down to 2006 on Walker Street in St. John's. Then down to 30 in Livingston. Then we're going to go to 3943, which is the house on Mill Street in Pinckney, and 3944 on Monks Road. And in Shiawassee, number 6403 on Ash Street, 6416 on Bennington Road, 6418 on Lemon Road, 6428 on New Lothrop Road, 6431 on Spring Street in Durand, 6439 on Elger Avenue in Owasso, 6442 on Martin Street in Owasso, and then go back to the book and go through it a second time. I'll give you those numbers again. These are going to get sold first. 2001, 2003, 2006 in Clinton County, then in Livingston, 3943, 3944, in Shiawassee, 6403, 6416 and 18, 6428, 31, 39, and 42. We're going to sell those first, then go back through the book and clean up what's left. Those are the most popular pieces. They'll get sold first. We hope to move through these pretty quick. I'm guessing we're going to be out of here by 2 o'clock today. Let's start out with number 2001. This is on Hannah Avenue in Lansing. Street address, Clinton County. Newer roof, newer windows, and siding on this one. The Michigan Department of Treasury, unlike all of the other counties, doesn't let us go inside, so we're not really able to take pictures inside these properties or open them up and tell you exactly what's going on inside. It's just their rule that they don't want us in there. So you're going to be dealing with exterior observations today. 2001 Hannah Avenue, it says $6,200 in that book. I've got 4 bidders online that have already raised the opening price to $8,300. Here's something we do to save some time. I've got 8 bidders in this room at a minimum that came here today to bid on this house. If you'll give me $9,000 for that house, show me your card, keep it up in the air until I say a number you don't like. It makes this go a whole lot faster. 9,000, 10, 11, 12, 13,000, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,000, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, $30,000. I'm going to start with you at $30,000. Aren't you glad we didn't do that $100 at a time? I've been doing this a while. I got $30,000 right here. Who wants to give me $30,250? That's our next bid increment. Anybody in the room at 30 and a quarter, 30 and a quarter, 30 and a half. You want to give me 31? 31 and a half, now 32. 31,750. I got 31,500 with you. Anybody in the room at 31,750? 31,500. Going once. 31,750 now, 32. 32 and a half. 33 and a half. 34 and a half. 34 and a half. 35 and a half. 35 and a quarter is as low as I can go. I've got $35,000 right there. Anybody in the room at 35 and a quarter? 35,000 going once. Twice. You bought at 35,479. I'm going to also collect the number of the backup bidder, and here's how that works. It's 1147. We just sold it to her for $35,000. She's going out to her car to get her checkbook, and she gets run over by a bus full of nuns. It could happen. It could happen. We would call the backup bidder and offer them the property for $34,750. One bid increment below the final sale price is the option for the backup bidder. It's not negotiable. We're not allowed to negotiate it. If the winning bidder cannot or will not pay, we offer the property to the backup bidder for one bid increment below. She just won that for $35,000. I entered in this computer right here. She can immediately go pay. She doesn't have to hang around. It's quick checkout time. Now we're going to go down to 2003. Herbiston Road. That's how Martha Stewart would pronounce it anyway. 2003, I've got 7 bidders in the room for this piece. There was a legal challenge to this property that I think has been resolved. Does need some repair, overall maintenance. I've got a $5,400 bid already from 3 online bidders. If you'll give me $6,000 for that property, put your card in the air, we'll do it the same way.
Can we ask what the legal challenge to the property is?
I don't have firsthand knowledge of that, but I believe it's resolved or would not be in this book now. 6,000, 7,000, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, $20,000, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30,000, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. I'm going to start with you at 35,000. Who wants to give me 35 and a half? 35 and a half, 36 and a half. 36 and a quarter is as low as I can go. 36 and a quarter, 36 and a half, 36,750. Now 37 and a quarter. 37 and a half, what about 38 and a half, 39 and a half, 40,000, 40 and a half, 40 and a quarter. Excuse me, where was I going with that? 40 and a quarter, 40 and a half, 41 and a half, 42 and a half, 43 and a half, 44 and a half, 45 and a half, 46, 46 and a quarter, 46.5, 46,750, 47,000. 47 and a quarter, 47 and a half. 47,750, now 48,000. 48 and a quarter, 48 and a half. You're gonna give me 49 and a half. 50 and a half. 50 and a quarter, I got $50,000 right there. Anybody in the room at 50 and a quarter? $50,000. Going once.
Yep.
50 and a quarter online. Somebody watching that camera. Now 50 and a half. Now 50,750. 50 and a half in the room. Going once.
Yep.
50 and a quarter online. Now 51 and a quarter. People ask all the time, they say, does it take a long time for the online bidders to bid? And the answer to that is only if they're married. I got 51,000 in the room.
Yep.
51 and a quarter, 51 and a half, 51,750. It comes back as quick as they can click a button.
Yep.
52,000, 52 and a quarter. Did I see another card a second ago? 52 and a quarter, anybody? I got 52,000 right there. 52 and a quarter?
Yep.
52 and a half, 52,750. 52 and a half. Go, 52,750 now, 53,000, 53 and a quarter. 50,
Yep.
53 and a quarter, 53,5, 53,750. 53,5, going once.
Yep.
53,750, 54,000, 54 and a quarter.
Yep.
You want to beat them to 55? 55, jumping the bid to 55, 55 and a quarter. It's 250 bucks online if they click that button.
Yep.
55 and a quarter, how about 56? 56 in the room, now 56 and a quarter.
Yep.
How about 57? 57 in the room, 57 and a quarter. Save a little time. 57,000 in the room. Going once.
Yep.
How about 58? 58 and a quarter. 58,000 in the room.
Yep.
58 and a quarter, 59,000, now 59 and a quarter. 59
Yep.
and a quarter, 60,000, now 60 and a quarter. 60,000 in the room.
Yep.
61, 61 in the room, now 61 and a quarter. 61,000. Going once.
Yep.
Now 62, 62 and a quarter. 62,000 in the room. Going once. Twice.
Yep.
At least we're going 1,000 at a time. 63, now 63 and a quarter. 63,000 in the room. Going once. Going twice.
Yep.
You want to go to 65? 65,000, now 65 and a quarter. 65,000 in the room. Going once.
Yep.
How about 67.5? 67.5. Now I need 67,750. 67.5.
Yep.
How about 70,000? 70,000. Now 70 and a quarter.
Yep.
What about 72.5? 72.5. Now I need 72,750. 72.5 in the room. Going once. Going twice. You bought it. 72.5, number 210. My backup bidder is online.
We need Marty to sell ourselves.
Number 2006 on Walker Street in St. John's. It's a 1920s style vintage home, newer roof and siding and windows in it. Occupied as last we knew. Remember what we said about occupieds. Please take care in approaching these homes until you know who's there. I've got 8 bidders online and a half dozen in the room. My online bidders already have me at $20,500. If you give me $21,000 for that, show me your card. We'll do that again, save some time. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, $30,000. I'm going to start with you at 30,000 bucks right over there by the door. Who wants to give me 30 and a half? Anybody in the room at 30,500? Anybody in the room at 30 and a quarter? I've got 30,000 over there. 30 and a quarter, 30 and a half. You want to give me 31? 31, 31 and a half, 32. 32 and a half, 33 and a half, 34. 34 and a half, 35. 35, 34.5 over there. Anybody in the room at 35,000? 34, 35 and a half, 36. 36, I got 35.5 right there. Going once, twice.
Yep.
35 and 750 online. Now 36,000, 36 there, now 36 and a quarter.
Yep.
How about 37? 37 and a quarter. Save a little time.
Yep.
38 and a quarter. That last guy must have been married.
Yep.
39 and a quarter.
Yep.
40,000, 40 in the room, now 40 and a quarter.
Yep.
41 and a quarter. 41
Yep.
and a quarter, 42 and a quarter.
Yep.
43 and a quarter.
Yep.
44 and a quarter.
Yep.
45 and a quarter.
Yep.
46 and a quarter. If you want to go higher, you just shout it out. 46 and a quarter. I got 46 right there. Going once.
Yep.
46 and a quarter, 47 and a quarter. Got a couple of different online bidders going back and forth. 47 and a quarter, 47 in the room. Going once. Going twice. You bought it, 47,000. Give me your bidder number, please. 47,402. The backup bidder is online. Livingston County, we're going to jump down to 3943. I suspect there'll be a little bit of fireworks on this one. 3943. This had a ton of views on the website, I know that. Lots and lots and lots of people. 3943 is on Mill Street, it's in Pinckney, it's a hot area, everybody wants to live around there. Does need some exterior work. Tuck point, little brick replacement in spots. I've got 12 bids online on this house and a bunch of people here in the room. It says $6,300 in that book, but we're not starting there. My online bidders already have us at $51,500. If you'll give me $52,000, show me your card. Let's do that again. 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, $60,000. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70,000, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, I'm going to start with you at $75,000. Anybody in the room want to give me 75 and a half? I've got more than that bid online. 75 and a quarter.
Yep.
76 and a quarter.
Yep.
77 and a quarter.
Yep.
78 and a quarter.
Yep.
79 and a quarter.
Yep.
$80,000, 80 and a quarter. I got $80,000 right there in the room. Anybody here want to give me $80,250?
Yep.
80 and a quarter. You want to give me 81? 81 and a quarter. This is a live bidder now on the camera. I got 81 in the room. Need 81 and a quarter. 81,000 in the room. Going once.
Yep.
81 and a quarter, what about 82? 82, now I need 82 and a quarter. 82,000, 82 and a quarter, 83 and a quarter. 83,000 in the room.
Yep.
You gotta give me 85? 85 and a quarter. We're gonna get there anyway. $85,000 in the room.
Yep.
85 and a quarter. What about 87 and a half? 86. 86 and a quarter. 86,000 in the room. Going once. Going twice.
Yep.
86 and a quarter, 87. He said he's all done. I've got 86,250 online. Anybody in the room want to give me 86.5? 86 and a quarter online. Going once.
Yep.
Now we got 2 online bidders. This can be slow, depending on how fast they want to go, how far they want to go. We sold an old Holiday Inn in Houghton Lake last year. Opened up around 40,000 bucks. 2 bidders online. Nobody in the room wanted it. Started at 40,000, went up $250 at a time, ended up like at 480,000 bucks. Took like an hour. Everybody went outside to smoke. Even the people who don't. I've got 2 bidders. It's going up $250 at a time. It's at 89,000. We'll give them just a second here. We'll see how long this takes. Then we'll let you know if you want back in. We'll let you know where it's at before we sell it. It looks like 89,000 is what I need to keep going. If anybody in the room wants to give me 89, now is the time. Anybody in the room at 89,000? Going once. Going twice. 89 in the room. Now I need 89 and a quarter.
Yep.
89 and a quarter online. 89.5. 90,000. Now I need 90 and a quarter. 90 in the room. One of these bidders is a regular, and he's usually hot on the trigger when he's still interested.
Yep.
90 and a quarter. 91. Now he said he's done again. You can keep changing your mind 8 times. It's the great thing about auctions that if you keep bidding, I guarantee you'll win. I got 90 and a quarter with an online bidder. Anybody in the room want to give me 90,500? 90,000 and a quarter going once. Twice. Sold it online, 90,250. My backup bidder in the room, what's your number? Number 379. $39.44, next one in the book on Monks Road. 3 acres, nice building site. Half a dozen bids online on this, starting me out at $10,500, so I know how high they'll go. I got at least a half dozen people in the room that want to bid on this one, but I don't know if they're willing to pay that kind of money. We're about to find out. Who wants to give me $11,000 for that 3 acres? How many of you? I see 3. That's enough to start. 11,000, 12, 13, 14, 15,000, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,000, 21, 22, 23. I'm going to start with you at $23,000. Anybody in the room want to give me $23,250? Anybody here for it at that price? $23,250, 23 and a half. Going to give me 24 and a half, 25. He put his card down. I got 24.5 right there. Who wants to give me 24,750?
Yep.
And we got it online. Now 25 and a quarter. 25,000 right here.
Yep.
25 and a quarter. You want to give me 26? 26 and a quarter.
Yep.
27? 27 and a quarter. 2 bidders online.
Yep.
28? 28 and a quarter. 28,000 in.
Yep.
28 and a quarter. What about 29? 29 and a quarter. 29,000 right there, going once.
Yep.
29 and a quarter, 30,000, 30 and a quarter. 30,000 in the room, going once, twice. 30,000 it is. What's the bidder number? 30,488. The backup bidder is online. Now we're going down to Shiawassee, number 6403. Once we get through the list the first time, we'll have a lot of empty chairs. 6403 Ash Street, New Lothrop. Newer siding, windows and roof here. This one, last we knew, was still occupied as well. 5 bids online, 8 bidders in the room. The opening bid has been increased by the online bidders to $30,250. I think we gotta refresh something here. The bid showing, but the picture's not. Oops. I'm sure. It'll work. We actually had to cancel our first sale ever this year because the online just was completely down for a day. Couldn't check anybody in, couldn't check them out, couldn't see anything or do anything. There it is, like magic. 6403 Ash Street, occupied as last we knew. I'm at $30,250 already bid online. My book tells me I got 8 people in this room that came here today to buy this house. If you'll give me $31,000, show me the card. Let's see how many out of that 8 still want to go. I got 31,000, 32, 33. Don't look at him, look at me. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40,000. I'm going to start with you at $40,000. Who wants to give me 40 and a quarter? 40 and a quarter, 40 and a half. How about 41 and a half? 42. How much? 60. I like you. 60, 61, 62, 63, 71, 72, 81. I've got 80,000 right back there. Anybody there want to give me 80 and a quarter? I got 80,000 in the back of the room going once. 80,000 going twice. 80,392. My backup bidder, 216. Let's go down now to 6416 Bennington Road. Acre and a half. It's got an old single wide on it. Remember we told you about single wides, although most of the single wides we sell will not come off in one piece. I've got a $2,500 bid online. I've got 8 people in the room that want to live in this single wide. I think they just want to rent it. This would be a great place for your mother-in-law. Invite her to live there, she'll never come back. $2,500, I've already got bid online. If you want to give me $3,000 for that, show me your card. Just 1, 2, I see a couple, 3,000, 4,000, 5, 6. I'm going to start with you at 6,000. Anybody in the room want to give me 6,100? I've got $6,000 bid right there going once.
Yep.
61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Oh, keep going. 60, you're breaking my rhythm. 6,500. I got 65, 66, 6,700. 6,600 there. 67.
Yep.
68, 69. 6,800. Going once. Twice.
Yep.
69, 7,000. Now 7,100. 7,000. Going once. Twice. 7,194. The backup bidder is online. 6418 Lemon Road, 2 and just shy of a half acre. I've got 6 bids online, 10 people in the room want to buy this piece today. My online bidding has me at $4,100 already. If you'll give me $5,000 for that piece on Lemon Road, show me your card. How many do I have at $5,000? Just one? 2. I should have more. Some of you are cheating, I can tell. 5,000, 5,500. What about 6,000? 6,500, 7,000, 7,500, 8,000, 8,500, 9,000, 9,500, 10,000. 10 and a quarter. I got 10 and a quarter right there. Anybody in the room want to give me 10, 5? 10 and a quarter with you. Going once. Twice. 10 and a half. 10, 750. Now 11. 11 and a quarter. 11 and a half. I got 11 and a quarter right there. 11 and a quarter going once.
Yep.
11 and a half. 11, 750, and now 12,000. 11, 750 in the room.
Yep.
12,000 online. 12 and a quarter, now 12 and a half. 12 and a quarter going once.
Yep.
12 and a half, 12, 750, and now 13. 12, 750 going once. Twice. You bought it. 12, 750, 194. The backup bidder is online. Now let's jump down to 6428. This one needs most of the insides. It's a shell of a house, not finished. Got some roof issues. They got things half done and just kind of walked away. I got a half dozen bidders in this room for this one. I had no online bids on this property, so we're starting out at that $1,600 in the book. If you give me $2,000 for that house, show me your card. Leave it up in the air till I say a number you don't like. 2,000, 3, 4,000, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000, 11. I'm going to start with you at 11,000. Who wants to give me 11,250? Anybody in the room at 11,250? 11,000 going once. 11,250, 11 and a half, now 12 and a half, 13. 12,750. 12 and a half with you. 12,750, now 13,000. I'm 12,750 right there. Anybody in the room at 13,000? 12,750 going once. Twice. 12,750, 194. My backup bidder, what's his number? 410. $64.31 has a bunch of people in the room that want to buy it. I've also got some online bids on it. This one occupied, as last we knew, newer siding, roof, and windows. $64.31. $8,200 is where I'm starting out online. If you'll give me $9,000 for that house, show me your card. Anybody in the room here for that one at $9,000? I got 9 there. You want to give me 10? 10. How about 11? 12,000. 13,000. 14. 15,000. 16, 17, 18, 19, $20,000. I got $20,000 right there. Anybody in the room want to give me 20 and a quarter? 20 and a quarter, 20 and a half? I got 20 and a quarter with you. Anybody in the room want to give me 20,500? 20 and a quarter going 20 and a half, 21 and a half, 22 and a half, 23 and a half, 24, 24, 23, 750. I got 23 and a half in the back row. Anybody want to give me 23, 750? 23, 5, 23, 750, 23, 5 going once. 23,750. Now 24 and a quarter, 24 and a half, 24,750, 25,000, 25 and a quarter, 25,000 in the back row. Going once, twice, 25,392. My backup bidder is number 216. And now we're going down to 6439. Alger Street, Alger Avenue in Owasso. Some updates here as well. 5 bids online for this one, and a half dozen bidders in the room. I'm starting at 15.5 with online bidders. How many people here give me 16,000 for that one? Let's leave the cards up till I say a number you don't like. 16,000, 17, 18, 19, $20,000, 21, 22, 23. I'm going to start with the lady right back there at 23,000. Who wants to give me 23,250? Anybody here at 23,250? 23,250. You're going to give me 24 and a half. 25. I've got 25,000 back there with the card in the air. Who wants to give me 25 and a quarter? 25, 25 and a quarter, 25 and a half. You want to give me 26 and a half, 27 and a half, 28 and a half, 29 and a half, 30,000 and a half, 31 and a half, 32 and a half, 33 and a half, 34 and a half, 35 and a half, 36 and a half, 36 with you. Anybody? 36 and a quarter, 36 and a half, 36,750. It's only money. I got 36 and a half in the back row. 36 and a half going once, twice. 36 and a half, 392. My backup bidder, what's her number? Backup bidder is 431. Now 6442, Martin Street in Owasso. Occupied again, ranch, newer windows, in generally good condition. I got about a half dozen bids online and 10 bidders in the room. My online bid takes me to $13,500. I know that there's a bunch of people in the room that'll give me 14,000. Show me your cards if you give me 14. Let's get this done. I got 14,000, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,000, 21, 22, 23, 24. I'm going to start with the same lady right there at 24,000. Who wants to give me 24 and a half? Anybody in the room at 24 and a half? I got 24 and a half, 25 and a half, 26 and a half, 27 and a half, 28 and a half. I got 28,000 with you. Who wants to give me 28,250? Anybody in the room at 28,250?
Yep.
28,250 online. You gonna give me 29? I bet you can rent that out for $5,000 a month. Maybe someday. I didn't say what year. I got 28 and a quarter online, 28.5. I got 28,250 bid online. Who wants to give me 28.5? Anybody? 28 and a quarter. Going once. Twice. Sold it online, 28,250. My backup bidder is 431. Now we're going to sell, actually that's it. We're going to go back to the beginning of the book now. We're going to skip the pieces nobody in the room is interested in. We've already sold the most popular ones. Things should go pretty rapidly now. Number 2,000 in Clinton County, right at the beginning of the book. This is a site condominium. It's a vacant lot, condominium form of ownership. There are gonna be association fees here. You're liable for them beginning when? Very good. They were listening. I'm at $6,800 already bid online. I know how high they'll go. I got 7 here. Who wants to give me 7,500? 75, how about 8? 85, 9, 95, 10 and a half, 10 and a half, 11 and a half, 12 and a half, 13 and a half, 14 and a half, 15. Don't look at him, look at me. 15. I got 14 and a half, 14, 750. 15 and a quarter, 15 and a half, 15, 750. 16,000, 16 and a quarter, 16 and a half. I got 16 and a quarter right down front. Anybody at 16.5, 16 and a quarter, going once, twice. 16 and a quarter, 323. My backup bidder is 423. We already sold to 2001. Let's get on to 2002. 2002 Oak Street in LC. I got a $2,200 bid already online. It's got an old single wide on it. Corner lot, dead end street. I got $2,200. Who wants to give me 23? Anybody in the room at 2,300? I got 23 there. You want to give me 24, 24, 25. Now 2,600. 26. I got 2,500 there. I got 26 online.
Yep.
27, 28,
Yep.
29. $2,800 bid online. Anybody in the room want to give me 2,900? 29. Now 3,000.
Yep.
31. Now 32.
Yep.
33. $3,200 online. $3,200 online going once. Twice. $3,200 online. My backup bidder right there. What's your number? We'll let you know when his wife finds out. Honey, where's the vacation money? Oh, I bought a mobile home in Elsie. Well, that's good. I hope it's comfortable because you're going to be living there now. Cable TV. We already sold 2003. 2004 is next on the list. I don't have any online bids on this. Maple Rapids area, it's got some roof issues. There's some signs that there may have been a past bank repossession. Sometimes there's notes on the door or 8 different sets of locks inside the front door or something. We just know that a bank has been involved in foreclosing on this at some point in the past. 2004, I got 3 bidders in the room. $10,750 is what I need. Who wants to give me $10,750 for it? I've got it right there. Who wants to give me, gonna give me 11? What about 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I've got $18,000 there. Who wants to give me 18.5? Anybody in the room at 18.5? 18,000 there. What about 18 and a quarter? Anybody in the room at 18,250? 18,000, 18,250, 18.5. Gonna give me 19. 19.5. $20,000. 19,750 is what I need. I got 19.5 with the lady over there. 19.5 going once.
Yep.
19,750 online. Now 20,000. 20 and a quarter. Can't buy the boards in a pile for that price. $20,000 in the room right there. Going once. Twice. $20,000 it is. What's the bidder number? 20,197. The backup bid is online. We already sold the last one on that page, and that means everything in Clinton County is sold. None of that online in October. Livingston County. I have a bid online on the first one, but nobody in the room has indicated that they're interested. If you don't want them, I'm not going to sell them to you. Anybody here in the room for number 3,900? If you're not, we'll skip it. Anybody here for 3,900? 3,901 is circled in my book. Do I have a bidder here for 3,901? Somebody wanted it circled, but again, if I have one bidder, I'm gonna ask, if nobody has their card in here, we're gonna go right on by them. Anybody here for 3,901? 3,930, I think I probably have bidders for here. 3,930 on Free Road, Fowlerville. Anybody here for that one today? 3,930. Then we'll go by that. 3,931. Do I have bidders in the room for that? I do have bids online. It'll sell later on. 3,931. Let's open that up. 3,931. Crandall, wooded lot, just outside of Howell. I got $2,600 already bid online. You want to give me 27? 27 back there. Now I need 2,800. Anybody in the room at 28? I got 28 online.
Yep.
29. Now 3,000.
Yep.
31. 32.
Yep.
33. 33. 34. I got 33 with you. 34 online.
Yep.
35. $3,400 online. Going once.
Yep.
35, I've got 2 online bidders. Watching that camera right there. We'll let them run with it here for a second. Probably won't go to, but look at that, it's waterfront. Water makes people crazy. I don't know what it is. 2, 3 different online bidders. 4 online bidders. We'll let you know when they're done. In case you want to get back into the fray, it's at $5,000 now. 2 active online bidders. We had 4 for a minute. Heading for 6,000. $58.59, $100. Third online bidder has just popped into the fray. 4, now we've got 4. $6,500. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day about this very piece of property. They were fishing in that creek and they caught a 42-inch trout.
Brown trout?
Yes, brown trout.
Can they hear you online?
Of course they can. And they also know that I'm making that stuff up. I got 3 bidders online still, because they've all heard my story many times when we sell acreage about the 412-point buck. $7,300 is where it's at now. And it's slowing down. Only 2 active bidders, and they appear to be ready to go out to lunch. Anybody in the room want to give me $7,400? I'm at $7,300 online. 73, need 74, going once, twice. Sold it online, $7,300. Anybody in the room here for 3938 on Cherokee Bend? It's circled in my book. I got one right here. Let's open it up. Number 3938 is on Cherokee Bend, older home. Last we knew it was still occupied, so we can't tell you a lot about the condition. $10,250 I've already got bid online. You want to give me 10 and a half? 10 and a half here. Anybody in the room want to give me 11? 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half, 11,750, and now 12,000, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half, 12,750, 13,000. You want to give me 13,500? 13,500, now 14, 14,500, 15, 15,500, 16, 16,500, 17, 17,500, 18, 18,500, 19, 19,500, 20,000, 20 and a half, 21 and a half, 22 and a half, 23 and a half, 24 and a half, 25 and a half, 26 and a half, 27 and a half, 28 and a half, 28 and a quarter. I got 28,000 right down here in the, Grandpa's showing him how to be a landlord. Is that a good thing? I got 28,000 right down here in the front row. Going once.
Yep.
28 and a quarter, 28 and a half, 28,750.
Yep.
29 and a quarter. 29,000 down front.
Yep.
29 and a quarter, 29 and a half, now 29,750.
Yep.
30,000, now 30 and a quarter.
Yep.
You wanna give me 31? 31 and a quarter.
Yep.
32, 32 and a quarter. 32 down front.
Yep.
33, 33 and a quarter. 33 in the room. Going once.
Yep.
33 and a quarter, 34,000, 34 and a quarter. 34,000 in the room. Going once.
Yep.
35, 35 and a quarter. 35,000 right here in the front row. Going once.
Yep.
36, 36 and a quarter. 36,000. Going once. Going twice. Now you're a landlord. 36,378. Don't take any wooden nickels. What about 3939? Anybody in the room want to bid on that one? I have no bids online, no bids in the room, nobody wants that one at all. Doesn't even have access. Helicopter parking. 3942. Anybody in the room want to bid on that one? I got some online, we'll sell it later. We already sold the last two on that page. On the next page, it says somebody in the room wants to bid on 3945. Anybody here for 3945? Up by Patterson Lake it is. Anybody here for that one? Let's go by that. What about 3947? Or 3948? 3956 has a circle around it. I've got a bidder right there for it. 3956, last one on that page. McPherson Street, not too far from downtown Howell, vacant lot. You might be mowing that this afternoon. I need $33,000 for it. I've got it right there. 33. Who wants to give me 34? Anybody in the room at 34? Who wants to give me 33 and a quarter? I got 33,000 right there, going once, twice. You bought it. What's that bidder number? 460 at the minimum bid. Shiawassee County. My book tells me I got a bidder for the first one, number 6400 on Main Street. Do I have a bidder here for 6400? There he is. Let's take his money before he changes his mind. No road access. Got a helicopter, do you? All right. $450 I got bid right there. Anybody want to give me $500 for that? I got $450 in the room.
Yep.
$500 online. Now $550. Now $6. $550. $6. Now $650 and $7.
Yep.
$750. Now $800.
Yep.
$850. Now $900.
Yep.
$950. $1,000.
Yep.
$1,100 and now $12.
Yep.
$1,300. Are you all done? I got $1,200 with an online bidder. Anybody in the room want to give me 13? $1,200 online. Going once. Twice. $1,200 online. My backup bidder, what's your number? 245. What about 6401, right next to the other one? Anybody here want to bid on 6401? And we'll offer that again. Right there I do have somebody. Let's open that up. 6401, $650. This one you can drive right to. 650 bucks right there. Anybody want to give me $700?
Yep.
7 online. 750? 750 now 8.
Yep.
850. I got $800 with an online bidder. Anybody in the room at 850? $800 going once. 850 over here now. Now I need 9.
Yep.
950. $900 online. Going once. Twice. $900 online. My backup bidder over there is 180. We'll be in Saginaw tomorrow and Flint on Friday and West Olive on Saturday, if you even know where that is. $6402. I think I got bidders in the room for that. Do I have bidders in the room for $6402? I do. This takes us to M52. It's about 1.25 acres with a double wide out Henderson Way. I've got a $3,600 bid already online. Who wants to give me $4,000 for that? $4,000? Let's play that card game again. $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, $11,000. I'm going to start with you at $11,000. Who wants to give me $11,250? $11,000 right there going once. 11 1/4, 11 1/2, how about 12 1/2, 13. I got 12 1/2 with you. Who wants to give me $13,000? Anybody in the room at 13? 12 1/2, I need 12, 750 from anybody else. 12 1/2 going once. Twice.
Yep.
12 750, now 13 1/4. 13,000 going once. Twice. 13,194. Backup bidder is online. We already sold 6403. Do I have a bidder in the room for 6404? Anybody here for 6404? 6405 should have and does have people here in the room for it. I've got an online bid for 6405 to open it up at 4,500. 2.5 acres on a paved road, Warren Road it is, out near Ovid. $4,500 already been online. You gonna give me 5,000? What about 5,500? 55? Come on, money bags. I know you got it. Don't make me shake it out of you. He's regular. I can talk to him. 5,000. 51. I got 5,000 right there. 51 online.
Yep.
52. 53.
Yep.
54. 55.
Yep.
56. 57.
Yep.
58. 59.
Yep.
$6,000 now. 61.
Yep.
62. 63.
Yep.
64. 65.
Yep.
6,600 in the room. Anybody want to give me 6,700? 66 here going once, twice. 6,600, 310. Backup bidder is online.
Was there any online bidders for 6404, sir?
Not that I'm aware of, but that does not guarantee it's going to make it to another sale. There's a lot of little rabbit holes they can drop down between now and then.
But I can look at it online, it'll have the...
We, after we're done here today, because nobody in the room wanted it opened up, we will ask the live bidders if they want us to open them up. Anything that hasn't been sold yet can still be sold. So, all right. Do I have a bidder in the room for 6407? Anybody here for that one? 6408, right there. 6408, Helena Street, Owasso. The roads here have not been improved. They show up on a map, they don't show up when you get out there. You can have it paved at your own expense if you want to, if it hasn't been vacated by the city of Owasso, or Owasso Township. $2,000 I need for it. I've got it right there, $2,000. Anybody in the room want to give me 2,100? I've got 2,000 going once, twice. It's yours now. What's the bidder number? $2,000 for 64. Number 6413 has been removed from the sale. It was a messy situation with assessments, and they did pull that out of the sale in just the last day or so. It was removed from the website. Anybody in the room interested in 6414? Top of the next page, 6414. The two after that, 16 and 18, have already been sold. I don't have anything on that page circled by anybody in the room, but we'll go through them. Is there a bidder here for 6419? 6419, right there. Let's open it up. 6419 takes us to downtown Bancroft. We got 3 of them here, I think, in downtown Bancroft. I've got 2 online bids for 6419 online already. I'm opening at 8,100. You want to give me 82? 82. 83.
Yep.
You want to get 9,000? 9,000. What about 91?
Yep.
How about 10,000? 10,000. Now 10 and a quarter.
Yep.
What about 11,000? 11 and a quarter.
Yep.
How about 12,000? 12 and a quarter.
Yep.
13,000. She said no dice. I got 12,000 and a quarter online. Anybody in the room want to give me 12.5 for that one? 12 and a quarter bid online. Going once, twice. 12,250 online. My backup bidder in the room. What's your number right there? 456. What about 6420? He's after that one too. I got 3 online bids on that one. 6420, also on Main Street, right across the street from the last one we sold. Single story. This one is still occupied as last we knew. I don't know if it is today, but it was. I'm at $7,100 already bid online. You want to give me 72, 72, 73, 74, 75, $7,600 in the room. Anybody else here at 77? 77 online with a live bidder now. 78, 79. Does that say Elton John? I don't think he's bidding. 79, 78 in the room, 79 online. Now $8,000, 81. $8,000 in the room. 81. You want to give me 9,000? 9,000 right there. 9, 91. How about 10,000? 10,000, he's waiting on the boss. 10, 10 and a quarter. 10,000 in the room. 10,000 going once. 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half. She said she's all done, I think. I got 10 and a quarter online with Elton John. 10 and a quarter. Anybody want to give me 10 and a half? 10 and a quarter going once, twice. 2, 10. So I could smell the ether that was so close. 10 and a half. Now 10, 750. 10 and a half in the room. 10, 750, 11,000. 11 and a quarter. 11,000 right there. Going once. 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half. 11 and a half, now 11,750. 11 and a half in the room. 11,750, now 12,000. 12, 12,000, now 12 and a quarter. You don't want Elton John to come to Bancroft? That'd be the biggest thing that's happened all week. 12 and a quarter, now 12 and a half. 12 and a quarter online. Anybody in the room want to give me 12.5? 12.250 going once, twice. Sold it online, 12.250, just like the other one. Online, the backup bidder is the same, 4.56. Anybody want to bid on 64.21? Right back there, let's open that up. I got 3 online bids for that one. It's on Shiawassee Street, has newer roof. Needs some work, but it's good bones to this house. So I got $7,600 already bid online. You want to give me 8,000? 8,000 right there. Anybody in the room want to give me 81? I got 81 online.
Yep.
82, 83,
Yep.
84, 85,
Yep.
86, 87. $8,600 in the room. 8,600 going once. 87. Now I get cards all over the place. 88, 89, 9,000. You want to give me 9,500? 95. How about 10 and a half? You want to give me 10 and a half? 10 and a half. Now 11 and a half. 12 and a half. 13 and a half. 14 and a half. 15 and a 15 and a quarter. 15 and a quarter. 15.5. I got 15,250 back there with you. Anybody in the room at 15.5? 15,250 going once, twice. 15,250, 431. My backup bidder, what's his number?
1198.
1198. Well, what about 6422? Anybody here for that one today? I didn't think so. 6424 is a campground condominium. Anybody here for that today? Let's open it up. 6424, Leisure Lake. It's where everybody wears leisure suits. This is a condominium campsite. You own it, but you have to pay association fees as of April the 2nd. If they come to you with an old bill, it's not yours. $2,300 is what I've already got bid from an online bidder. Gonna give you 24? 24 right there. Anybody in the room at 2,500? 25 online.
Yep.
Now 26. $2,600 in the room. Going once, twice. Your camper's going right there. What's that bidder number? Bidder number is 385, 2,600. Backup bidder is online. What about 6425? Anybody here today to buy that one? He is. Let's open it up. 6425, it's got some wetlands indicators. You could be a frog farmer or a cattail rancher if you buy this one. $2,000 I got bid right here. Anybody in the room want to give me 2,100? What about you guys? You don't need any swampland?
Don't like frog legs.
Don't like frog legs. Tastes just like chicken. I guess. I've never had one. 2,000 going once, twice. $2,000, 305. Congratulations. On the next page, what about 6426? Back there, got another aspiring cattail rancher. It's on Raylan Hills Drive, Perry, Swamp Lot. 3 acres of cattails, $900 I got bid right there. Anybody want to give me $950? $900, you can sell those cattails to you can make a fortune selling those at the craft store. Going once.
Yep.
$950, now 1,000, 1,100. $1,000 in the room. Going once, twice. $1,000, 1, 2, 3. Backup bidder is online. I think I'm going to make my 2 o'clock deadline. Already sold 6428. What about 6430? Anybody in the room for 6430? It's a site condominium, vacant lot. In the back, I got somebody interested. Again, you're gonna have association fees and deed restrictions. It's a condominium form of ownership. $1,700 I've got bid right back there. Anybody wanna give me 1,800? 17 going once.
Yep.
18 online, 19, now $2,000. 19,
Yep.
2,000, now 2,100 and 22. 21 in the room. Going once.
Yep.
22, 23, now 2,400. 23,
Yep.
24, 2,500, now 26.
Yep.
27, 2,800. 2,700.
Yep.
28, 29, and now $3,000.
Yep.
3,100, now 32. 31 in the room.
Yep.
32 online. He said he's done. $3,200 with Tara online. Anybody want to give me 33? 3,200 going once. Twice. 3,200 online. My backup bidder is 194. Already sold 6431. I'm guessing we got several people here for 6432. Let's just open that up. We're on John Street in Durand. This may be a meth house. It's got a chemical contamination warning sign and it's condemned, and that's usually the indicator of that. So, that being said, $9,500 is what I need for this one. It's in generally good condition, but you can't go in there unless you get it all cleaned up. I need $9,500. Where's my bidder at $9,500? 3 people said they wanted to bid on it. I'm calling their moms. Was it you? You sure? Okay. Anybody at all? 9,500. Going once. Twice. No sale on that one. What about 6433 on Perry Street in Durand? Do we have bidders here for that? Let's open it up. My book says I got 4 bidders for that and I see 1 sign. $7,400. I've already got bid online. You want to give me 75? How about 8,000? 8,500? 9,000? 9,500? 10 and a half. 11 and a half. 12 and a half. 13 and a half. 14 and a half. 14,750. I got 14,500. You want to give me 14 and a half? Anybody in the room at 14 and a half? 14 and a quarter with you. 14,500 with you. Anybody want to give me 14,750?
Yep.
14,750 now. 15,000. 15 and a quarter. 15 and a quarter. 15 and a half. 15,750. 16,000. 16 and a quarter. 16,500. 16,750. 17,000. 17 and a quarter. 17,500. 17,750. I got 17,500 right there. Who wants to give me 17,750? What about online? 17,500 going once. Twice. 17,563. My backup bidder is 331. What about 6434? Also on Perry Street in Durand. Let's open it up. He's chasing it. I got online bids on that one. 6434, I've got 10 and a half already bid online. Gonna give me 11? 11 and a quarter.
Yep.
What about 12? 12 and a quarter.
Yep.
13 and a quarter.
Yep.
14 and a quarter.
Yep.
15 and a quarter. I got $15,000.
Yep.
15 and a quarter live bidder on that camera. 15 and a half now. 15,750. 15,750, 16,000, 16 and a quarter,
Yep.
16 and a half, 16,750,
Yep.
17,000, 17 and a quarter, 17 in the room. Going 17 and a quarter. You gotta give me 18, 18 and a quarter. 18 in the room.
Yep.
18 and a quarter. How about 19? 19 and a quarter. 19
Yep.
and a quarter. How about 20,000? 20 and a quarter.
Yep.
21 and a quarter. 21. Going once.
Yep.
21 and a quarter. 22. 22 and a quarter. 22,000. Going once. Twice. 22 and a quarter. 22 and a half. How about 23 and a half? 24 and a half. 25 and a half. 26 and a half. 27 and a half. 28 and a half. 29 and a half. 30,000. 30 and a half. Now 31. 31 and a quarter. I got 31,000 right there. Anybody want to give me 31 and a quarter? $31,000 in the room. 31,000 going once. Twice. 31,000, 1128. I have to ask, you got a blue bid card, so you got here late. I can't sell to anybody with any other delinquent taxes. You don't have any? All right. 1128, what's my backup bidder number? 331. $31,000. What about 6436 on Main Street, Durand? Anybody here for that one today? On the next and last page, time to buy is now. Christmas is coming. We've sold a couple of them already. The only one I have circled by somebody in the room that I'm aware of is the one at the bottom, but we'll go through the rest of the list. Anybody here for 6437? We already sold 39. What about 6440 on Stewart Street? 6441. We already sold 42. What about 6443? Anybody here for 6443? 6444. Let's open it up. This one is occupied as last we knew. Incomplete construction. It's kind of an ongoing construction project, hasn't been finished. I've got a $5,900 bid online already. You want to give me 6,000? 6,000 there. You want to give me 65? How about 7,000? 66. I got 6,500 in the back row. I got 66 online.
Yep.
67, 68,
Yep.
69, 7,000,
Yep.
71, now 72,
Yep.
73, 74,
Yep.
7,500, now 76. I got 7,500 in the back row. Going once.
Yep.
76 online, watching that camera. 77, 78. 78, you're gonna give me 8,000? 8,000 right there, now 8,100.
Yep.
82, 83. 8,200 in the room. Going once.
Yep.
83, you wanna give me 85? 85, no 86. 8,500 in the room.
Yep.
86 online. How about 9,000? 9,000, now 91.
Yep.
95? 95 in the room, now 96. 95 in the room. Going once.
Yep.
96, how about 10? 10, now I need 10 and a quarter.
Yep.
What about 11? 11 and a quarter. 11,000
Yep.
and a quarter. How about 12? 12 and a quarter.
Yep.
13? 13 and a quarter. 13 in the room.
Yep.
13 and a quarter online, 14,000, 14 and a quarter.
Yep.
15 and a quarter. 15 in the room. Going once.
Yep.
15 and a quarter, 16,000, 16 and a quarter. 16,000
Yep.
and a quarter, 17,000, 17,250. 17. Going once. Twice. 17,331. Backup bidder is online. What about 6446? Any couple of you, let's open that up. I've got 4 bids online for this one. 6446 on Comstock, newer rough and mechanicals, does need some work on the porch. I've got $10,250 already bid by 4 online bidders. You wanna give me 11? 11 right there. You wanna give me 12? Any other bidders in the room at 12? I got 11 with you. Who wants to give me 11 and a quarter? 11 and a half, 11,750, 12 and a half, 13 and a half, 14 and a half, 15 and a half, 16,000, 16,500, 17 and a half, 18 and a half, 18,750 is where I'm at with you. Anybody in the room want to give me 19,000? 18,750. Going once. 19 and a quarter, 19,500. 19,250. Going once.
Yep.
19 and a half, 19,750. 20,000.
Yep.
20 and a quarter, now 20 and a half.
Yep.
You gonna give me 21? 21 and a quarter.
Yep.
What about 22? 21,750. 21 and a half is what I need to keep on going. I got 21 and a half. 21,750.
Yep.
22. 21,750 online. Anybody in the room at 22,000? 21,750 online. Going once. Twice. 21,750 online. My backup bidder is right there, and what's her number? 222. What about 6447? Who's here chasing that one? Couple of you. We'll sell that. We're gonna go through the book one more time with the people online. There's gonna be stuff that they had online bids on that nobody in the room wanted opened up. If you've changed your mind on something and want us to open it up, if it hasn't been sold yet, we will take your money. 6447, it's a parking lot. You can open up your own business. You just need a building, minor detail. $600 I've got bid right there. Who wants to give me 6.5? 6.5, now 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, $1,000. 1,100, now 12, 13, 14, 1,500, 16, 17, 18, 1,900, now $2,000. 21, I got $2,100 with you. Who wants to give me 22? 21 going once.
Yep.
22 online, now 23. 23, I got $2,200 online. Anybody want to give me 23?
Yep.
2 bidders online. Anybody? Well, we'll let them arm wrestle for a second. We're going to take about a 5-minute break after we're done. Give you a chance to take a look at what's in that book. If you want them, come up and let us know, and we'll open them back up. 3 bidders online on a vacant parking lot in downtown Owasso. It's at $2,700, and it's still ticking along. You You can open up your very own taco stand right there, whippy dip, whatever you want to do. $3,000. And they're not done. $3,300. 2 active bidders. If this hits 100,000, I'm buying pizza. One pizza.
One slice each,
I don't know. Depends how many people are still here when it gets here. 3,700, and they're not done. Take a look back through that book while you're waiting. If there's anything in there, we'll find out. Don't buy what you don't know about, though. Don't buy something you haven't seen. I need $4,000. I've got $3,900 right now. Anybody there want to give me $4,000? I got $3,900 going once, twice. Sold it for $3,900 online. The backup bidders also online. We're going to take about a 5-minute pause. Carrie's going to talk to the people bidding online, see what they want us to open back up. We'll take a look and see what we didn't sell that has some online bids on.